Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez, and today marks episode 6 in our Haunted America series. We've been traveling state by state, uncovering the spookiest locations across the country, and today we've arrived in Colorado. Today is September 17th, 2024, and we're deep into the Rockies, where the mountains hold more than just breathtaking views. They also hide stories of hauntings that will chill you to the bone. From haunted hotels to abandoned mining towns, Colorado is rich with eerie encounters. So grab your hiking boots and join me as we explore the 10 most haunted locations in the Centennial State. Let's kick things off with one of the most famous haunted hotels in the world, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. Now, I did cover a little bit about this hotel. Actually, I covered a lot about this hotel in our 5 most haunted hotels, but just to give you a refresh, I guess, is how to say it. This grand hotel, built in 1909 by Freeland Stanley, serves as the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. And it's not just the setting that's spooky. Many believe the hotel itself is haunted. Guests and staff have reported a wide range of paranormal activity over the years. The most famous ghost is that of Freeland Stanley himself, who has been seen in the hotel's billiard room and lobby, often overseeing the operations as if he's still running the place. His wife, Flora Stanley, is also said to haunt the hotel. She's heard playing the piano in the music room, her melodies echoing through the empty halls. Room 217, where King stayed and wrote The Shining, is extremely active, with reports of objects moving on their own, lights turning on and off, and even the apparition of a former housekeeper who was injured in an explosion in that room. The Stanley Hotel continues to welcome guests from all over the world, many of whom come specifically to experience its haunted history. Next, we visit the historic Molly Brown House in Denver, home of the Unsinkable Molly Brown, who famously survived the Titanic disaster. Built in the 1880s, this Victorian mansion was the residence of Margaret Molly Brown and her husband, J.J. Brown. The house has long been rumored to be haunted, with visitors and staff reporting sightings of ghostly figures and unexplained phenomenon. Molly herself is believed to still roam the halls, her strong-willed spirit refusing to leave the home she loved. People have seen her ghost dressed in early 20th century attire, moving through the house as if she's still attending to her daily affairs. In the dining room, some have witnessed the table setting itself, as if preparing for a meal that never comes. The scent of roses, Molly's favorite flower, has been known to fill the air suddenly, even when no flowers are present. Today, the Molly Brown House operates as a museum where you can explore the life of this fascinating woman and maybe catch a glimpse of her lingering presence. Our next stop takes us to the Central City Masonic Cemetery, nestled in the mountains of Colorado. Central City is a former gold rush town, and it's known for its rich history and its ghostly residents. The cemetery is the final resting place for many of the town's early settlers, and it's said that some of them never truly left. One of the most famous spirits is that of a woman known as the Lady in Black. She's been seen visiting a specific grave leaving behind fresh flowers despite the grave being that of a man who died over a century ago. Witnesses describe her as wearing a long black dress and a veil that obscures her face. She appears suddenly, often startling visitors before vanishing into thin air. The cemetery is still open to the public, where you can wander among the graves and perhaps encounter this mysterious specter yourself. Now we return to Denver to explore the Brown Palace Hotel, a luxurious establishment that has been operating since 1892. This iconic hotel has hosted presidents, celebrities, dignitaries, but it's also home to a few permanent residents of the ghostly variety. Guests and staff have reported a lot of different eerie experiences, from mysterious voices echoing through empty hallways to doors that open and close on their own. The hotel's switchboard operators have received calls from empty rooms, and one housekeeper reported being locked in a room by an unseen force. Perhaps the most famous ghost is that of a railroad worker who died tragically in the hotel's boiler room. His presence is often felt in the lower levels, where the temperatures suddenly drop and the feeling of being watched becomes overwhelming. The Brown Palace continues to offer a luxurious stay with a hint of the supernatural. Aspen's Hotel Jerome is next on our list, a luxurious mountain retreat that dates back to 1889. The hotel has seen its fair share of history, from the boom of the silver mining era to its transformation into a modern-day hotspot for celebrities. But it's the ghost of a young boy that has captured the attention of guests and staff alike. The boy, believed to have drowned in the hotel's pool in the 1930s, has been seen wandering the hallways, dripping wet and shivering. He's often spotted near the pool area, his small figure appearing suddenly before fading away. Guests have also reported hearing his laughter echoing through the corridors, as well as finding small wet footprints that lead nowhere. The Hotel Jerome is a place where luxury meets the lingering spirits of the past. Venturing into the mountains of Colorado Spring, we come across the Gold Camp Road tunnels, a series of abandoned tunnels that once served as a railroad route for gold miners in the late 19th and early 20th century. The tunnels are steeped in eerie tales, particularly Tunnel Number 3, where a tragic accident reportedly claimed the lives of several workers when the tunnel collapsed. Visitors have reported hearing the sounds of ghostly whispers, disembodied voices, and even screams coming from within the dark passageways. Some have felt a sudden, chilling breeze sweep through the tunnel, even on a calm day. The tunnels have become a popular spot for thrill seekers who hope to experience the lingering energy of those who perished there. Next on our list, we're going to Aurora Fitzsimmons Army Medical Center. Originally built in 1918, it was once a bustling military hospital that treated soldiers and their families for nearly a century. It's said that the ghosts of those who passed away within its walls still linger, particularly the older parts of the hospital. The most common reports include the sightings of a ghostly nurse that's still making her rounds, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Patients who were never discharged and have been seen wandering the corridors, lost and confused, searching for a way out. Some visitors have even heard the faint sound of hospital equipment, such as heart monitors beeping and gurneys being wheeled down the hall. Even though much of the medical center has been redeveloped, the ghost stories persist, and those who venture near the old buildings often feel an eerie sense of being watched. While most of the site is closed to the public, parts of the old hospital grounds are accessible, where the echoes of the past can still be felt. For our 8th location, we journey to Manitou Springs to visit the Clift House at Pikes Peak. This historic hotel, built in 1874, has welcomed guests for over a century, but it's the supernatural residents that often leave a lasting impression. The most famous spirit is that of a former guest, Dr. Frank Springer, who passed away in the hotel in 1891. His ghost has been seen in the hallways and in the room where he died, still dressed in his favorite formal attire. Guests have reported hearing the sound of someone coughing in the middle of the night, only to find the room empty. Another spirit, that of a young woman, has been seen looking out of the hotel's windows, her face a picture of sadness. The Cliff House offers a tranquil escape with a touch of the other side. It is open to the public, and you can definitely book yourself a room where you might experience a ghostly encounter. Next, we go to St. Elmo, located in Chaffee County. It is one of Colorado's best preserved ghost towns. Founded in 1880 during the gold and silver rush, St. Elmo was once a bustling community, but was largely abandoned after the mining industry declined. The town is said to be haunted by the spirit of Annabelle Stark, one of its last residents who fiercely guarded the town's remaining properties. Annabelle's ghost has been seen wandering the empty streets, often glaring at visitors as if warning them to stay away. She's also been spotted peering out of the windows of the old hotel, her stern face visible for just a moment before disappearing. The town itself, with its dilapidated buildings and eerie silence, feels like a place where time has stood still, making it easy to believe that the spirits of the past still roam its deserted streets. St. Elmo is open to visitors, offering a glimpse into Colorado's mining history and a chance to explore its ghostly remains. And our final stop takes us to the Museum of Colorado Prisons in Canyon City. It's housed in a building that once served as a women's correctional facility from 1935 to 1968. The museum is filled with artifacts from Colorado's prison history, but it's the ghostly activity that has drawn the attention of paranormal investigators. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the old cell blocks, hearing the clang of cell doors closing, and feeling a cold, oppressive atmosphere in certain areas. The most common sightings is that of a former inmate who was executed at the prison. Her restless spirit is said to wander the halls, her presence often accompanied by the sound of dragging footsteps. The museum offers a unique glimpse into Colorado's dark history, and those who visit might just leave with more than what they bargained for. The museum is open to the public, and you can explore all of its eerie artifacts and perhaps meet one of its ghostly inhabitants. And there you have it, guys. That is our look at Colorado. 10 haunted locations in Colorado. It was a lot of fun doing this episode. A lot of good places. And make sure you check out those show notes, because I don't think I've mentioned it yet. But in the show notes, I kind of go... I put like the addresses of all of these locations in case you want to check them out. All the information's there. So just go to the show notes and yeah. So if you like stuff like this, guys, if you're really enjoying this series, please subscribe to the Halloween podcast. Trust me, subscribing really does help. I know I get thousands of downloads, but only a handful of people are actually following. So please hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot. And while you're there subscribing, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Believe me, they do help. If you have any questions, comments, or want to suggest anything for a future show, send me an email, thehalloweenpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/thehalloweenpodcast. I post a lot of cool stuff there. I've been posting a lot of stuff for Haunted America. So you're missing out if you don't go to facebook.com/thehalloweenpodcast, like our page, and check out all of the cool stuff that I'm posting there. And make sure you come back tomorrow because we are going to continue the Haunted America series. We are about 6 episodes in. We still got 40 some odd more to go. So if you're enjoying all of these haunted locations, make sure you come back tomorrow because we are going to take a look at the Constitution State, which is Connecticut. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.